Hi, and welcome back to On the Move, where we go behind the scenes of the larger construction projects happening here in your community in Forsyth County. Well, we're down here on the Greenway as spring is starting to turn into summer, and that means some exciting things are happening here on the Greenway, including a very big renovation project. They'll have a tremendous outcome for everybody here in the community in not too long of a period of time. Let's dive into it, see what's going on here down at the Bethel View Trailhead. Joining us is Kirk, Franz, Director of Parks and Recreation, and John Jefferson, Director of Capital Projects here for the county. Gentlemen, first of all, thank you so much for joining us here today.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Not a bad day to get out of the office and enjoy some sunshine here.
Beautiful day. Yes.
Not too shabby. Well, what section of the Greenway is currently closed? Right now we're down here at Bethel View. There is some traffic here behind us, people still enjoying the Greenway, but Kirk, what is closed currently?
Sure, so we're at Bethel View Trailhead, so phase 4, which is Bethel View Trailhead north to Kelly Mill, that's currently closed, but you can still come here to Bethel View and go south towards Fowler Park.
So still a lot of action here and a lot of trail for people to come out and explore across Forsyth County. Trails that not only here in the Greenway, but across the entire county at our park system as well. Why was this renovation project so necessary?
So over time we observed some deterioration on phase 4, and the boardwalk here is an all wood design. And in the areas of phase 4, especially where there's a lot of wetlands and just moisture, we found that stretch of boardwalk really deteriorated quickly. We did our best to try to fix repairs, make repairs where we could, but it really started to be where the foundation of the Greenway was failing, and if we started getting into it, it was going to be a big problem, and it turned into a safety problem, and that's where we made the tough decision to close that section so that we could, one, keep the community safe, and two, come up with a plan to get it fixed.
We talked about some of the closures, and we'll get into this here in a little bit, and we'll just kind of roll up our sleeves and call a spade a spade. This project is taking some time. We know it's taking some time, but what's the current status of the project right now today?
Sure. So a few months ago, we selected a progressive design build team. It was a qualifications-based selection. So we put out an RFQ, received qualifications in, shortlisted, and selected a team. Since that time, that design build team has been working on getting survey information, geotechnical information, and advancing the design. We're looking at section 4 is the section that we want to get open the quickest, but we're also looking at section 3 because it's deteriorating and is going to be in a situation where we might have to close it sooner than we'd like to. We're also looking at the Fowler connection, which is a short section of boardwalk from the Fowler Park area over to the boardwalk. We're also looking at the Bethel View Trailhead. The focus is going to be getting section 4 open as quickly as we can, and then depending upon funding and costs and whatnot, we'll get as much of the other work as I've identified. But we'll have pricing, we'll have options, and be able to make relatively quick decisions.
This renovation is not, and we're going to get into it, this renovation is not just putting back what's there. We're starting basically from scratch. We're redesigning, we're moving the trail where it needs to help avoid flood areas, so that if we have a place that's historically flooding, that we're not just going to put it right back there. So we're actually looking at everything before we go back and rebuild it.
Not a Band-Aid, it's a surgery to fix the problem.
That's right.
That's correct.
Long term.
So talk about that decision, Kirk. Let's kind of talk timeline of where we've gotten to today. Let's kind of backtrack a little bit for those that might not have the historical perspective. When was the decision made that something had to change, and what led into that?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, all of our boardwalk on a majority of the Greenway, especially phase 4 and phase 3, has all wood design. So our initial plan as we got into the renovation was to do a steel underlay, so that the foundation could be protected from rot deterioration with a wood deck, and that was a reasonable way to start. But as Capital Projects put it out to bid, and with the progressive design build, that allowed us to have conversations with the contractor and get their input and their thought. And we soon came to find that this contractor who we're working with is very familiar in working with a product called Permatrack, which is precast concrete boards essentially. And because of their experience and familiarity with that product, they didn't say convince us, but they gave a good proposal to us that is going to help us save money basically by having it installed faster, and you add the longevity of Permatrack, a concrete board that should be able to withstand, a tree falling on it or things like that, and won't deteriorate. We're projecting about 50-year lifespan on this type of product, and so this again, it's not a band-aid. It's going to be something that's going to provide a long-term solution that years from now it'll still be in great shape.
So a win there that the material is a lot different. It's not going to your local lumber yard and picking up some 2x4s here. This is going to be a much longer term solution here for the Greenway throughout the entire infrastructure. And that's why this is called a renovation project. It's not a maintenance project. It's not an update. This is a renovation starting from scratch, as Kirk and John mentioned there. All right, so the big question I think on everybody's minds are probably watching this is, what is the timeline now moving forward? When can they get out here and expect to be on the trail system? I know we kind of touched on it briefly there, but let's make sure we get that across. When are we anticipating the next opening and what that series of openings looks like?
What I'd like to say to John is, John, look into your crystal ball and answer that question. Because it's not an easy answer, is it? No, it's not. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, and just let me say this. As the capital projects director supporting other operating departments, we want this opened as badly as you do, as folks who are out here using it. So that's part of the reason for selecting some of these alternative delivery methods that we're looking at. It's getting budgeting in the CIP, so we've got the funding, we've got a quicker delivery method. We're looking at different material selections, so when we get out here we can put it together faster and get it open faster. So Kurt asked me to get out my crystal ball. We do expect to have a GMP, a guaranteed maximum price proposal from the design build team, and we hope to get that in front of the board in June of 2026. Once the board approves that GMP, we'll be able to release the contractor to start construction.
One thing I'll say, and I think John mentioned it, is we want to thank the public for their patience. Yes. And we are frustrated that we have a facility that's not open. We know that the public's frustrated. So we thank them for their patience. Thank you for voting to approve SPLOST 9. Yep. That is what's helping us fix big problems like this. But trails and walking and hiking are always one of the highest desired activities in our park system. The Greenway provides that. And for us to now have a large section closed, we know that hurts. We're working on it. And if you can just trust the process, I know it's taking a while, but I think at the end of this, it's going to be a great product that for many generations will be able to enjoy the Greenway.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for all your hard work on this. We know they're getting back in. We're probably going to go hit the trail, though, and enjoy it a little bit while y'all get back to work, because there still is a lot to explore here on the Greenway. Thanks so much for watching On the Move. We appreciate you tuning in. As always, get more information online at forsythco.com and follow us on social media, both the county as well as Parks and Recreation. For Kirk and John, I'm Russell Brown saying so long for now. We'll catch you next time on the Move.